Hello, HokiHoshi. Welcome to the show. Welcome.
Hello, hello. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely a pleasure because you are a household name for many Forza fans. But for those of you who might not know the name, give us the spiel. Like, who are you? What are your channels about? How did we get here?
Sure. So that's a big question.
It
Um,
is.
Ultimately, for me, HokiHoshi is about like helping players understand the game more and kind of through that have more fun with the game. I do a lot of deep dive content into all sorts of different topics, whether it be
Mm,
building and tuning cars just as a whole, just in general, or doing deeper dives into more specific elements of tuning, or even specific cars, or driving with a wheel, which is the video I just put out. So it really comes from a place of helping players that may be more on the casual side of things or newer to the series, might not even be like huge car fans. I don't assume that players know anything like what understeer might be or what toe angle is. I start at the beginning, but I want to give the players the tools to step it up and kind of become a more serious like Horizon fan or Forza
yeah.
fan in general.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I think a lot of those things can feel very intimidating at first when you join, especially because Forza Horizon is so accessible for people who just want like a more arcadey feel to a game and you can run around smashing into things. And it's nice that if you feel like so inclined, you can get more in depth into it. But tuning guides are
Exactly.
probably what you're most well known for, right? So why did you start making those guides?
Sure. So my first guide was in Horizon 3. It was a drifting guide. And I was kind of a regular on the subreddit. And I noticed a lot of new faces coming in for Horizon 3. I think in part maybe because of the PC launch. You saw so many new people entering the franchise. So I figured instead of like writing up a text post on the subreddit, I had some video editing skills. I would just whip together a quick video and throw it on the subreddit, not really expecting it to go anywhere. I wasn't a YouTuber at all at the time, but I woke up the next morning and it had like thousands of views and hundreds of comments. And I like woke up my wife and I was like, honey, I think I'm going viral. um, and I just kind of took it from there. It's video creation has always been something I've done kind of as a side fun hobby. And now I can kind of merge that with Horizon and it's been
hmm
fun.
So, I mean, with that in mind, there are a lot of different philosophies when it comes to tuning a car. So what is your approach? What's the Hoki approach?
Sure. So it's a great question. That's actually something that kind of comes up a lot on my
Mm,
streams and in my channel because I definitely take a more realistic approach when it comes to tuning. For me, it's about making sure players know the rules before they learn how to break the rules,
hmm
and also just making sure I'm not, telling players, hey, set your slider here because it's good. I want to make sure they understand, what that slider means, what that's doing to the car, and kind of the background mechanics um, of the tuning and building system, which are all based in realism.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So starting from that realism, I like that as well, learning the rules before you can break them. Because there's a lot going on when you're tuning a car. So I think that's quite important to know how it all interacts together, right? So do you make guides for all race types and skill levels, or do you sort of cater to a specific group of people, like a focus?
Yeah, I definitely bounce around quite a lot, whether it be, right now I'm kind of working through the major guides, with, tuning as a whole, diving into, rally or drifting. But then kind
Mm.
of as the game progresses, I kind of take my viewership with me up a skill level and up a skill level. And I start diving more into, like a whole video just about the mechanics of differentials in Horizon and stuff like that. So I definitely kind of start at like the 101, college level, and then it
Yeah.
steps up from there. And I cover everything. I mean, it's totally flavor of the month. If I'm doing like hill climb stuff in Horizon, I'll probably end up making a guide about that. So
That's fair. I mean, look, you're gonna go with whatever you're passionate about at that moment, right? If you're doing something, might as well make content about it. That's what I always say anyway. Turn all your hobbies into content, or else.
yes,
So
yes, exactly.
car reviews are another staple of your YouTube channel, and you actually have a unique spin on them as well. What sets your reviews apart from like a traditional, we're reviewing this car in Forza Horizon or even real life?
Yeah, so for me, the the term I use is role play. That's not quite the right word, but I feel like it kind of gives you an idea. So what I do is we start with kind of a walk around of the car. You can like do the explode button in the
Hmm.
Forza Vista. Yeah, there you go. It's up on screen now. We walk around the car and show off some of its quirks and features, and then we take it on a casual drive through the open world, and I'll chat about some of its strengths, some of its weaknesses, and then we take it back to the garage, build a tune for it, and take it around a test track, which has its own time leaderboard for it, which is fun in and of itself. But then the final piece of the video is giving the car a Hoki score, which is
Hmm.
it's a 13 point system, which kind of covers everything you could ever want in a car. And I score it there, and then it goes on a Hoki score leaderboard as
Okay.
well.
Okay. All right. So I'm kind of curious. You said role play. Like, is there like a character involved in that? Do you become the reviewer?
To a point, yeah, to a point. I would call it almost like self-aware role play.
Hmm.
It's I know I'm in a game, still, but when I take the car on a first test drive, I follow like the traffic rules and try to
Yeah.
stay in my lane and stuff like that. Drive like you would actually test drive a car in real life.
Yeah, that's fair. No, I like that. That's good. I guess you can. You assume. We're assuming it's life. Like, how does it
Yeah.
feel? How does the seats
Yes.
feel? How's it smell in here? A new
Exactly.
car smell. So how do you choose what cars to review? Is it like a community thing, or is it kind of just whatever you fancy at the time?
Yeah, so it starts with the community. At the end of every video, I just ask the viewers to suggest a car for the next video, and then I will take that list, compile it, and for me, it then just becomes driving something new, like driving something I wouldn't normally drive.
Mm.
In real life, I'd say I'm like more of a JDM guy or like Euro hypercar kind of guy, but for the car review series, I'll go, okay, well, maybe I'll drive some American muscle or newer sports cars kind of thing. It's about kind of making sure I don't get stuck in a rut and kind of breaking out and trying new things. And part of the car review series is encouraging the people who watch it to do that too. Like, hey, this car is worth checking out. There's like 500 cars in this game, but try something new.
Yeah, that's fair. I like that, especially if the community is suggesting cars as well. Because I mean, having being a part of a community or leading a community, I know how much they like to troll me. So I can only imagine how much they'd love to throw something that you would never drive and
Yes.
go, here you go, have fun.
You wouldn't
um,
believe how many requests I've gotten for the Peel P50, by the
it's my
way.
favorite car. Yes, you have to do it. So have you done any reviews for Forza Horizon 5 cars yet, or are we got quite the backlog on 4, I imagine.
Yeah, so we have not kicked off the review series for Horizon 5 yet. I'm still kind of working through the bigger content guides, which are definitely bigger video projects for me. But
Hmm.
happily, I can say that I'm currently in talks and working on locking down the test track, the official Hoki
Okay.
test track for Horizon 5. And once that gets locked in, we will be kicking off the series for Horizon 5.
All right. Okay, so they got that to look forward to. All right, well, so let's go back to Forza Horizon 4 then. Which car has the highest Hoki score in Forza Horizon 4 so far?
So that was the BMW M5. I think it's '03 M5, and it's
Okay.
because it's obviously that car exudes style. It's such a cool car. It makes for a good road car, makes for a pretty good rally car, makes for a pretty good drift car, and that kind of jack of all trades characteristics is what makes for a good Hoki score. So yeah, that one I think it
Okay.
just beat out the Porsche 944.
I like that because you're reviewing so many different varieties of cars here. It must be quite hard to compare them all. But we have the leaderboard right there,
Yeah.
so you can actually see. Look at that. Oh, and it's gone. But you can see on the leaderboard there. It's interesting how it stacks up to some of the other cars that other people might
Mhm.
review highly. But that's the benefit of being able to review on your own because you get to make the rules and you get to
Yes.
say whether or not you like it, and that's the thing. So speaking of cars, you have recently hit 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, and you're doing something a little bit special for the milestone, something that's it's really unique and really cool. So please tell everybody what that is because it's awesome.
Yeah, this has been a very fun project to work on. So sort of what I did was create my own limited edition Forza edition car. It's called the Hoki Edition Mark III Supra. And what I did was match the in-game Mark III Supra car specs to my real car, like to the decimal point. I actually went out with a camber gauge and with toe plates and measured my real car. I looked up the suspension dynamics. The dyno is accurate. We've got the engine sound as close as it can be. Everything tries to match my real car as much as possible, except for the livery. I don't have that cool gold livery on my real car yet.
Yet? Okay.
But the in-game car, yeah, yet. The in-game car has a Forza Edition themed livery. And then there's 100 of those cars made. There will only ever be 100 of those cars made. And each one is numbered 1 through 100. And I'm giving them out largely through the gift drop system. So I'll kind of use this space as a bit of a PSA. Guys, if you are playing and you get a gift from HokiHoshi, make sure you open it because it is going to be one of the 100 Hoki Edition Mark III Supras.
Very special edition. And that's awesome. That's such a fun, unique way to do that. So props to you for that. And congrats on the milestone. And congrats to all the lucky winners of the Hoki Edition Supras too. So we've been talking about your YouTube channel a lot, but recently you've just started playing Forza on Twitch as well. So how's that been going? You enjoying it? Having fun?
Yeah. Oh, Twitch has been a blast. I've been doing YouTube for about 5 years now, kind of on and off. Twitch is definitely a newer venture for me. But with like pre-recorded video content, I feel like you're always keeping your audience a bit at arm's length. Whereas with Twitch, you're just letting them in. Like it's almost like you're sitting on, a big couch with like 100 of your closest friends, playing a video game. And that's been a really, really fun way to interact with the community. And for me, I am typically more of like a solo gamer on my own time. So it's been a great opportunity just for me personally to like break out of that shell, jump online with my whole community and just have a ton of fun.
Yeah, that's what Twitch is all about. That's what makes it so fun. So before we went live, you mentioned that you see your streams as a friendly onboarding to online. So I kind of I want to dig into what that means to you.
Sure. So this definitely stems from some of my own feelings when going online in video games, not even just Forza in general. For me, like going online, especially for the first time, can be stressful. You're either worried about letting down your team, or worried about not doing well personally, or maybe trying something new that might be bad and you might be stuck with for the game. And so, especially with my stream, the goal is, anybody can jump in, anyone can join, no skill level requirement. You don't have to be following me. You don't even have to like me. I don't care. You jump in, you race with us. And you just have a good time. It's good, fun, clean racing. And we encourage people to try new things. Don't maybe take like your best A-class race car, like build something new, build something weird, and just have fun online racing.
Yeah. That's what it's all about at the end of the day, isn't it? Just having a bit of fun. We have to take it serious. We can just have a good time. Well, thank you so much. It has been great talking to you today, HokiHoshi. And thank you so much for joining us on the Community Spotlight.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It was fun.
Absolutely. And for more HokiHoshi content, please give him a follow on YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, and Twitter. We are always on the hunt for more fantastic Forza content creators like HokiHoshi.